Right, sons, everybody. Welcome back to Castles and Company, which is totally a weekly podcast. I'm your host, Jared Hendrickson, and joining me today, we'll start off with the list. We got Liam joining us. How's it going, Liam?
It's going good. Hello.
Then we have Alina joining us. How's it going, Lena?
Hi, y'all.
And last but not least, we have Gwyneth. What's up, Gwyneth?
Hi, everyone.
So, as always, this is a Disney podcast where we talk about things that are in the world of Disney, anything going on in Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, Club Penguin Remastered, apparently, and anything else that catches our interest. So, what do we got today? Starting off with the news. This is just funny. Oh, no. Actually, before we start off with the news, we got to start with the Mickey Ertle. For those of you who tuned in for the last podcast episode, we found out there's actually a Mickey Wordle. So, Wynn, if this is your first time joining us for the... Are you ready?
I'm really excited, and I don't want to hype myself up, but I think I'm pretty decent at Wordle.
Well, that's good, because it's actually going to be Liam doing all of the work. Because we like to see him struggle.
And we're not allowed to say anything to help him.
Exactly.
Oh,
Give
God.
him only wrong answers.
Oh God, dude! I have to say it's I didn't realize how much harder Wordle would be with proper names because they don't have to follow the way that words are normally spelled. So you can kind of be like, huh? There's a so it has it's E. It's like L. If it's like L, E, and then a blank, and then an I, and then another blank, and there are no other vowels, it's like I don't even know what word that would be. But if it's proper nouns, you have to think: is there just a character I'm not thinking of from some movie I haven't seen in Disney?
Yeah. For context, when this is proper nouns are also potential answers to. What was it last time? It was Ariel, I think.
Yeah, it was Ariel,
which
was that completely threw me off because we had R. It was we knew it was AR, and then it was AR. Or no, it was A, and then it was we knew the I and the E and the L or something. We had some weird combination of letters.
Lena's just watching us struggle because she knew the answer, and she was like,
I got it. I thought we were all playing alone, and I got it within 2 minutes, and I was just sitting there.
Which was wild too, because I was talking to one of my residents, because I'm a resident advisor at UCR. I was talking to one of my residents, and he was telling me about the regular Wordle. I was like, the answer was aerial, aerial attack or something. And I was just like, dude, and I was like, dude, that was the Wordle. Or I was like, that was the air.
That was the Mickey Ertle.
Mickey Ertle today. I don't know. He was talking.
He's like, Jared, what are you talking about?
I don't think. I don't think it was the daily Wordle he was playing. It's like, yeah, you can random whatever. I know Liam's like, hold up a second, I do the Wordle every day. And that was not
That's what I was gonna say. I don't remember Ariel being one.
No, because Ariel's 6 letters.
Oh. No?
The aerial attack.
Or was he honestly, it was a while ago. I can't remember if he was saying if I was like, oh, I played the Mickey version. It was like, oh, the answer would be something like Ariel. And I was like, what? Whatever it was, it freaked. Gwyneth. Since you're new to it. Gwyneth, since you're new here, we're gonna have you do do the first word. Guess. Ready?
Okay.
So
I would just like to say that I did the Star Wars Wordle, and the first one I did, or actually the second one I did, it was R2D2, but they spelled R2 like ARTOO. I was really pissed. I was pissed
because you couldn't get it.
I was like, who would have known? It's never spelled like that.
It's R2, and then they put the dash in there. R2
so dumb.
Dash.
Okay. Anyways, so something with I like to choose something with a lot of vowels. What should I pick?
I mean, Ariel gives you 3.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
Do you have
That's
to
a
guess?
good one.
Do you have to guess like? Does it let you guess non-Disney related words?
I can try on my end right now.
I mean, pretty much anything you can relate to Disney, so there's like a good chance that it might.
Okay.
Yeah, it took boats.
I did.
So
Hits refresh.
yeah. No, I'm going on my private browser.
Nah, forget. We'll do boats. Boats. I don't want this to take too long. Enter. All right. So only the. What does orange mean again? Does that mean it's in the right spot or it's in the wrong spot?
Orange is wrong. Orange
Okay.
is wrong.
So all we got is the A is in the third column, and it's in the wrong spot.
Then because I thought we were gonna do Ariel.
Oh, we're typing Ariel again? Is that what Luna said?
Oh,
No, it's
I
fine.
don't know.
Boats is fine. That's cool. Don't worry.
We're putting
It's not a big
Ariel
deal.
in. Let's do it. All right, so we
Let's
got
go.
boats and Ariel. That is also the wrong place for the A.
Damn.
But we did get L, which is also in the wrong. All right. So it's got the word has A and L in it, and the A is not in the first column or the third column. L is not in the last column. It said lines, but we are I and E. We want to try Vader.
It doesn't have an L.
Yeah, but it would be a new place for the A.
But we also don't have an E or an R.
E and the R, yeah.
That's true.
Is Polly a character like Pauly? Like the dude from Jersey Shore?
L-Y? Nah,
Yeah.
doesn't take it.
Doesn't take it?
Pauly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting them.
But what about no? Damn it! Can't use the E. I was gonna say Wally.
Ooh. We could try it anyway.
No, we can do better than that. I think.
Yeah, it doesn't test enough letters.
Yeah.
All right, what's some letters we haven't? What's like a vowel we haven't yet? Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're good.
Bless you.
Thank you, Lena. All right. So we didn't. T wasn't it? O wasn't it? B wasn't it? Thought we had some pro Wordle players in here.
Can we see the keyboard?
Keyboard, right? So the keyboard's got. We still have Q, Y, W, U, P, A, D, F, G, H, J, K. Why is the L not? Oh, yeah, the L is in it. L, Z, X, C, V, N, and M.
You tried chalk. I know that's not a Disney word, but that tests a lot. That tests a good number of letters.
Huh?
The word chalk.
Chalk?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so the A or the L is not in the second to last spot.
Oh, I did the A in the safe spot.
You're good.
So.
I'm thinking it might start with A. Because there's no way a word ends in A, right? Or I mean, start with L and then be like L-A.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Like Lance, but there's no E. And
I would say actually lamps.
Lamps?
Yeah, but there's no S. Yeah, lamps would actually make sense.
Lamps would work without the S. Is there another way to end that?
Trying to think of like.
Do we want to try lamps just to see if we can get the L and the A?
No, because.
Okay, can I give you a word?
Yeah.
Mural. It reuses an R, but it tells you if there's a U.
Mural?
Yes, Mural.
All right, but then the L isn't in the last column. That helps us locate where the A is supposed to go, though. Good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's.
I think we can do better.
Yeah, I think we can. I think we can do better. Ooh, what about Mulan?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be it, isn't it?
It has to
Oh
be.
wow, that was really good,
Let's
Liam.
go.
Hey.
Yay!
Sheesh. Liam with the clutch play.
I wasn't thinking about the U.
That's pretty funny too, because if we did type mural, that would have gotten the M and the U in the right
Yeah.
spot. Lena's like, come on, you should have taken it.
No, I'm just happy that I was somewhat close. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take that half.
Yeah.
Liam with the game saving play.
I'd say that was a team effort.
Totally. I'll get an assist.
Assisting. So that was fun. I want to try that. You said there's a Star Wars one.
Yeah.
I gotta try that at
Yeah.
some point.
Star Wordle. That one's fun.
Star Wordles. There we go. That's
See,
one that
that's
actually sounds good.
Yeah.
So I don't
Better
know.
than it's better than Disneyland Dirtle.
Disney Erdle.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they
Disney.
didn't want to use the word Disney in it, probably because copyright. That would have been bad. It's like
These Nerdle.
Erdle, which actually brings us into the first topic that we're talking about. Club Penguin
Nuts.
Rewritten. What?
Huh?
What did you say?
Nothing. Keep going.
So yeah, Club Penguin Rewritten. I don't wait. First off, who here did y'all play Club Penguin when you were younger?
Yeah. I love it.
A little bit. I think I played. I think I had like a month subscription at one point. And I remember playing like I remember I really like the like karate game, like the playing. It was like playing cards, but also karate or something.
Oh, you're talking about
It had elements. One second, let me look it up so I don't just poorly describe it for 5 minutes.
Card Jitsu?
Yes, what card jitsu? Yes.
Yes, Card Jitsu was fun. What about it?
That's the only thing I remember playing, and the sled one, I think.
The going down the mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those people who don't know, they actually shut down Club Penguin like a couple years ago. I want to say it was like 2018 or something like that, or 2017. So they shut it down, and then they're like, "Hey, we're gonna get this new game called Club Penguin Island." And for Club Penguin Island also, or not Club, but yeah, Club Penguin Island, which they also shut down after a year. So they got rid of Club Penguin just for like a year later to like get rid of its like successor too. So then a bunch of people got together and they made a game called Club Penguin Rewritten, which is like it's just like Club Penguin, but instead it's just like normal people who are like running it. And like the trick is like to avoid like copyright or avoid like Disney shutting it down. What they did is like they made sure that they didn't like they can't make any money off. So there's like no membership or anything. It's just like a bunch of people doing it for fun. And I guess like Disney finally came for them because it got shut down by Disney, and this is happening today actually. It got shut down by Disney, and this website was seized by London police. I don't even understand how that works. Like,
That feels really intense.
is the police officer like point a gun at the computer, and he's like, "Yeah, hand it over," you know? Like, I don't get what it means, but yeah. So I'm like reading.
They just send an email with the water gun emoji. Like, hand it over. No one gets hurt.
The water gun emoji. So apparently Disney has shut down another version called Club Penguin Online, another copy that was they acquired 1 million new players during the pandemic. But yeah, so I don't know I don't know. Lena, did you play Club Penguin Rewritten around the same time I was or no?
Yeah, I used to be one of Jared's residents, and so Jared was playing it and I started playing it, and then we went into the pandemic, and there were a couple times where we played like that was my social interaction in like the very like March April 2020. Yeah, that was good. I loved Club Penguin Rewritten. I'm hoping that Disney taking it off is like how they took all of the new Marvel or the older Marvel shows off Netflix. I hope it's their way of saying like, oh hey, we're gonna bring it back, just them trying to be like money hungry and get all the money themselves again.
Mhm. No, it makes
That's like
sense.
the best case scenario, I feel.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of what happened with there's these dudes that were making a version of Knights of the Old Republic, like the video game, that was actually supposed to. I just realized I took it off the screen here. Which were making like a completely remastered version of the game, but then Disney like contacted them and told them like, hey, you have to like stop make even though it was free. They told them like, hey, you have
Yeah.
to stop making this immediately. So
Yeah, because
and then
wasn't Club Penguin Rewritten free?
yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the coder game that they were making, like the remastered one's for it's free, and then like 2 years later they announced that um like there was like a remastered like Disney's own remastered game was like in development. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
So I was gonna say that could be like a thing, but like from this message I'm reading that apparently was sent in like Club Penguin Rewritten Discord, it was like Club Penguin Rewritten is shutting down effective immediately due to a full request by Disney. We have voluntarily given up control of the website to the police for them to continue their copyright investigation. So
Oh wow.
yeah, it's very interesting. Like this is one of like the few ways you could like still play like all of, like the old games from when we were up.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
it's weird. It's weird that the police are involved. If it's like,
Specifically like the London police, you know?
yeah, because if it's a copyright investigation, like that kind of seems like they're looking for something to charge someone with, unless there was some sort of situation where they were like resistant to shutting it down, and so they like brought in the police to kind of be, to as a like a kind of a power play to kind of be like, okay, we're for real shutting you down. But yeah, that is weird because I feel like normally if Disney just said, hey, shut down Club Penguin or else, I feel like I feel like they just would, right? I don't know. It's interesting. That is interesting. The police are involved.
I mean, they did like hand it over. I guess it's like
I mean, handing it over to police as opposed to handing it over to Disney.
Disney. I see
Yeah.
your point. I don't know. Disney, I guess they filed the copyright claim or whatever. I don't know why they're doing it now when it's been out for like 2, 3 years. But I guess we'll hear about it more later. The reason, like, I know this story doesn't even sound like it's that important, but like, I don't know. I really liked Club Penguin. I played this. And if you haven't played the remastered one or the rewritten one,
No, sorry.
I was sad. But yeah, it was fun while it lasted. So rip Club Penguin Rewritten.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got on going on for Disney news. I mean, I'm sure we missed like a couple stuff in the past weeks that we haven't had a podcast episode. But speaking of games, real quick, while we're already on the topic, Liam, have you tried out the Lego Star Wars video?
No, not yet. I've actually, I think I want to get it, but I have not gotten it yet.
So, if you've heard about that one, right?
It looks so good. I've been watching so much gameplay. Oh my God.
You haven't gotten it yet, though.
No, I haven't. I've been focused on other video games.
Elden Ring? No, I'm just
No.
Did someone say
kidding.
Elden Ring?
Welcome back to our Elden Ring podcast.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, the what is it?
Disney, just buy Elden Ring so that we can talk about it on the
Podcast
podcast.
exactly. Because
Actually, please don't. Please don't.
they acquired Club Penguin so that we could talk about it. Now they got to acquire Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, the Club Penguin, the Club Penguin Elden Ring crossover game. I'm down for it.
Oh my gosh, guys, they dropped Club Penguin into Fortnite.
You've challenged Godric the Grafted to a game of card jutsu.
What is it? Trying to think of like who's a character from like Herbert the Bear. Was that his name? Oh, you don't remember any of the characters. What's the name of like
I know
the?
who you're talking about.
Oh, you do, Lena?
I think it's Herbert. Yeah.
Like,
And then he had a crab accomplice. I don't remember what his name was.
Was it Klutzy?
Clicky or something. Oh, Klutzy?
Is that what it
I
was?
don't know.
Oh gosh, I gotta look this up now, or it's gonna be the
I
Herbert
just want
Bear. Oh my gosh, that was his name. Herbert P.
I feel
Baird.
like I remember they would add Esquire to the end of it as like a joke sometimes.
That's
And
what
but
that's
I
what it
was
says on Google.
like, I'm too young, like to, or I was too young to have gotten that joke, you know?
Wait, what's funny about it? Just that like it's like
Just the
making the name
absurdity.
longer.
No, like Esquire, I think means that you're practicing with like a JD, like in law.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So which is like, why would you add that in a game where like
It's a
little
polar
kids,
bear.
you know, like
He,
who's gonna be
hey,
like, yeah, that's funny.
he worked hard for that degree and should be able to put it on his title. He deserves it.
Imagine you walk into court and you're like, man, I'm so stressed. You're sweating bullets. And your lawyer walks in and it's a bear.
Specifically a polar bear, Lena. Get it right.
Yeah. A nefarious polar bear.
Bear.
Like, it's not even a good guy.
Well,
He's out
obviously,
here trying to
Obviously,
destroy Club Penguin.
I mean, obviously not. It's a lawyer.
Yeah.
he's on the defense side of things.
Yeah. The polar bear part's fine, but
Oh god, I would have to take this out later, but it's like he's part of like the Hindenburg trials, but like is the what was it? Oh, and then yeah, so I double checked. It is Klutzy the crab.
makes sense that they would have a polar bear do it.
Oh, goddamn. But yeah, it's like, guys, I'm dropping in as Klutzy the crab in Fortnite. Go. But
I just want to walk into a dim cobblestone room in Elden Ring, and then I hear the music play, and a giant puffle descends from the sky,
awesome.
with a massive health.
Those are so. I wish I had like the toy puffles in my life, like, and then like my dog got a hold of one of them, and like chewed it up. So then for like the longest time, like my dog just had like one of my like toy puffles as a chew toy. Like I miss that puffle. I might still have like a couple of them like in storage though. Gotta get them out. Anyway, we were saying Lego Star Wars, right? So when you said you're like, what games are you playing instead of Lego Star Wars right now?
Oh, I'm working my way through Metroid Dread.
Is that?
Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
so
the
Metroid is like a really old Nintendo game. Um, yeah, it's a platforming and like a little bit of horror, but it's from Super Smash Brothers, Samus and Zero
Oh,
Suit Samus. Yeah, so that's her game. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
so
I
you
recommend.
so as soon as you're done with that one, you think you'll pick up the new Lego one?
Um, you got me there, Jared.
She said I'm not doing that
I
anyway.
I don't know. I don't know, but
No, I
maybe
haven't.
if you guys say it's really good, then I'll get it. Because Lego games are really fun, but I feel I've never been like really like I don't know into like finishing them because I feel like it's just kind of like goofy, and like that's the
No,
point. I
you,
like
you gotta
that.
get the
Yeah.
100% completion on
I would
That's what I'm
honestly
saying. Like I
say,
don't feel compelled to do that.
it.
yeah, I would honestly say I probably would have like gotten it way sooner if it was like something I knew I could play like online multiplayer with, because I feel like it's like when you're a kid, it's you can play it for hours and hours on it because it's a kid's game. But I feel like I don't know, I haven't gone back and played a lot of the Lego games in a few years, but I've seen but the fact that they're probably not super difficult from what I remember, it I imagine I'd have a lot more fun playing it online with like another person,
Yeah, it doesn't
or
have
like other people.
what is it? Lego, the new Lego game doesn't have like Wi-Fi. What do you call it? It's like it's only local multiplayer.
Yeah, like on online multiplayer, it's only local.
Yeah, so
Which
it's
like
like I think that's the I think that really like is a
I'm
big
glad
downside to the game.
yeah, I'm glad they didn't get rid of the local multiplayer, unlike some video games, but like Halo.
Elden Ring,
Um
no.
yeah, split screen Elden Ring would be wild. Uh but um but yeah, I feel like because I feel like a lot of people's like I feel like a lot of people have like fond memories in the game of like playing it with like I remember playing with my brother a bunch, and because it was like, it was a 2-player game with Legos. So I was like, both, like, hell yeah. But I don't know, because I feel like I feel like you're more likely to go back for a nostalgic game like that if you're like, dude, hey, remember when we played this as kids? Oh man, you could like reminisce with someone else about it rather than be like, oh yeah, this is fun, and then play it for like a few hours and be like, it's if the it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of the same mechanics and stuff. I don't know. I'm probably still gonna get it, and I might eat my words, but
No, I from what I've heard, like when if you're asking if like it's a good game or not, like to like mini review from what I've like heard and seen so far is people are pretty happy with it. There's like people have like minor complaints, but as far as I can tell, like it's a good addition to the series. Um, Everyone kind of idolizes, was it like the complete saga? So of course, like they're never gonna make a game like as good as that one again. But
Mhm.
especially in like today's like climate of like how like games are very what do you call it, like very like scrutinized like to like every small detail. And of course, like unless it's exactly like the previous any game where you make like a remastering, like there's always going to be complaints about it. But I
and
think
also and
yeah, go
also
ahead.
it's kind of how it goes for like the difference between playing games when we're our age versus playing games was like when you're a kid. Like
Yeah.
we like everyone has their opinion on Fortnite, but if you're the age that we were when we were playing Lego Star Wars, everyone who is that age now, when they get to our age, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, Fortnite was like the perfect game.
Mhm.
So it's I'm sure the complete saga wasn't a perfect game, but it did everything it needed to. So for us, it was a perfect game, and you kind of overlook like it doesn't any of the so-called like flaws it had didn't really.
See, I would agree with you. I agree in the sense like the further on like a game goes, like you're like oh like the nostalgia for it. But I would say that like it's more like if they made like a Fortnite 2, or like Fortnite remastered, they'd be like oh like Fortnite was better. You know?
Yeah, I mean
That's
it's
why
the
I'm
yeah
saying like it's since it's like from what I've heard like the first level play is almost like it from what I've heard at least is almost identical to the first level of like the original like Complete Saga. So it most likely like from so you could almost say it's like a remaster, you know? Anyway,
yeah
I will definitely be playing it in the future once I have more time. That's definitely not right now. Liam's too busy with Elden Ring. He just started a new game, which he definitely
dude,
shouldn't do considering how much work he's got to do. But
dude, I can't stop. It's I'm fighting Godric the Grafted for the second time already. It's I can't.
it
it has been
calls to
a
him.
yeah it has honestly been a while since like a new game has come out. I've gotten it and I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. It's like it reminds me of when I got Skyrim when I was like 12. It's like, and
Aw.
I'm just like enjoying it. So
How
even though
cute.
if Skyrim repeatedly kicked my ass and just made me hate my life at every single moment, it's like Skyrim.
Perfect. Anyway, any final comments from you, Gwyneth, about the new Lego Star Wars game? Excited to play it in the far future.
Yep,
All right.
that's about it.
Okay. Let's see. Next in news. So this is one that like, if you type Disney news right now, it is just across everything. Um, I honestly haven't like had too much of the details, but I'll try and see if I can find like a small thing talking about it. But it's just Florida, is it mayor or Florida? You call it like a governor. There we go. Woo! It is way too late at night. The Florida governor DeSantis. This is like the title of the Washington Post article says DeSantis takes on Disney in a culture war with national implications. So it says the feud pits two Florida behemoths against each other over teaching of gender-related issues in public school. So apparently,
Per.
have you heard about this,
Sorry.
Gwyneth?
Have you? Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was gonna say
I
if you'd
didn't know
like
if you
to
were gonna bring it up.
yeah, if you'd like to
Yeah.
educate us on this, I personally haven't researched this too much yet because I was like hesitant to even talk about it on the podcast, but I think it is
Hmm.
important. So,
Yeah.
so we don't usually talk politics on the podcast, but go ahead and give us the run.
Okay, so as you guys know, Florida is a pretty controversial state, and um,
Yes,
Disney
Florida man.
is,
He's done a lot of crimes.
yeah. And so Disney also I'm sorry, not Disney. Well, Disney has a lot of controversial takes on a lot of politics, and so do Floridian like governors and senators and Congress people. So around like the beginning of March, I had saw that like Bob Chapek had, I believe, sent like an email about something or like was doing some kind of like speech in Florida. And like he basically like very plainly like refused to condemn Florida's new bill, which is Don't Say Gay. And as Jared talked about before, it's like trying to educate children in school about like sexuality and what does it mean to have like a spectrum of sexualities, right? It's nothing like very deep, I guess, right? It's like, oh, people are gay and that's normal. People are trans and that's normal. And so when he like did this address, like people were like, hey, why didn't you like condemn this bill? You know, if you say that you support like the LGBTQ plus cast members, right? You have a lot of people in the community who work for you, especially in Pixar. I don't know if you guys know, but one of the head animators for Wally and then now Turning Red, she's a
Uh,
producer for Turning Red. She is like very openly lesbian and has a child and everything. Like they are like on Disney Plus. She's on Disney Plus talking about her like non-nuclear family, you know? So
uh,
there was a lot of like issues with cast members and they were basically trying to call him out, and in an email he basically said that he wouldn't condemn it, and like he danced around the issue. And so like my biggest problem is that like especially around June and even when I went to the parks in May, like Disney was already selling like rainbow colored stuff, like rainbow washed merchandise. And so in my head, like, why would you continue to buy LGBTQ plus merchandise from a company that clearly doesn't like support, you know, the causes as so? So I like if you guys are looking for like cute like LGBTQ plus like merchandise, I suggest like making it yourself or finding like a small business to do so because it's more sustainable, it's more worth your money, and you're actually supporting somebody who, goes into the cause. And then a couple weeks later, because he refused to condemn this bill, Pixar actually came out with like this whole thing on their Twitter, their Instagrams. Like it's a really long email, like written by everybody in Pixar. Let me see if I can pull it up. But basically, they were saying like they were really hurt by this kind of behavior and they don't want to continue to work for a company that continues to censor them over and over again. So that was like the short rundown. But let me try to pull up the tweet for you guys and you guys can
yeah,
give your thoughts on this kind of stuff.
yeah. I most of what you said, I think, like you mentioned, you said like back in March, right? That's when like
Mm-hmm.
there was like the first things going on. I remember seeing stuff about like, oh, like, there's like a problem with the is it Bob? You said Bob Chapek. He's the CEO, right?
Yeah.
Like he was the one that was like not like handling the issue properly and not like being not openly like just saying against the bill.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember personally seeing that uh back in March, but I didn't think like too much about it. But then like yeah, now all over like the news, it's just like it talks about the battle between it. I've seen threats from DeSantis saying to Disney like, "Hey, we're gonna take away your rights for Disney World um, to be its own city." Like I don't know if I think we might have talked about this on the podcast, Liam. I think I've talked about this with you, especially how Disney World isn't a like park. It's like it's so large that it's like, and there's like so much like so many resorts and things on it that it's considered almost its like own city with like its own laws. Or like
Yeah.
I mean of course it like stays to like regular law stuff. I don't know. I've mentioned that to you, right, Liam?
Yeah, I think we've talked about it a couple times because we were talking about the we were talking about it with the I think it was when we were talking about the new like living quarters they were putting there or something.
The Star Wars ones.
Yeah, maybe that was it. I can't remember. There are a lot of I remember we've had a lot of conversations about new living hotel. No, I thought no, not because the Star Wars one is like a that's like a hotel place. I thought we were talking about like them building them uh expanding to like the full like Disney city type.
Oh, you're talking about when we were talking about like the zoning stuff with Anaheim.
Oh yeah, maybe that was Disneyland that I was thinking of. Sorry to
Yeah, but
keep
no,
track.
I brought up the Disney World stuff reference to that. We were
Right,
talking
right,
about
yeah,
how like they were changing stuff in downtown Disney to like make like a whole new section or whatever, but they're very confined because like their work for the city or they're in the city of Anaheim versus like
yeah,
there's no city of Anaheim equivalent for Disney World. It's like Disney its own like city thing.
yeah.
Um, other no, so some of the things I'm seeing off just on the top of news, like 68% of Americans less likely to do business with Disney over sexualized content now because of this. So like when it said like instead of approaching Disney for these types of like merchandise, you're saying like instead like
Hmm.
go and like find other ways to get them. Or this could lead to people all around being like, "Hey, I don't want to like purchase any Disney products at all."
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of the yeah, this sort of a situation is kind of like why I have like a bit of an issue with like why I can't personally get behind like calling, you know, a corporation or something like Disney like an ally or anything like that because they're it's not like a company that's smaller like Pixar might be able to have a, you know, because they're like, you know, they're
Subset of Disney,
yeah,
or
because you know they're a studio. They're in one place. They might have like other like smaller like administrative areas in other places in the world to kind of to do, you know, licensing stuff. But with a international with a massive like global company like Disney, at a certain point to be a company that big, you can't really have a moral compass outside of make money. So they'll they might have people in the company that have, you know, that have beliefs that, you know, support, and this is all just my opinion, my take on it, but like they have people in the company that like are supportive and are allies to, you know, to like the LGBTQ like community and stuff like that. But it's it it kind of I feel like any sort of like representation or kind of activism or whatever is always just what they can get away with as a secondary, you know, as a secondary priority to
yeah, like
making money.
it's
So
yeah,
if the
their
money
main
gets put
focus is
in,
money
yeah, so it's, you know, they'll support LGBTQ like ways
as
in
long as
the
it's
terms of like,
as long as it's profitable, basically.
yeah, because you know they'll put representation in movies because, you know, that's it. It has like it's, you know, best of both worlds. It's good representation for marginalized groups, and it's, you know, good PR for them to like be shown as a progressive, like a company doing
Company.
progressive things. Yeah, and or they the same thing with them, you know, selling the rainbow themed like merchandise, but it's but at the end of the day, like uh like treating corporations as if they have the interests of anyone, like corporations as a like a corporation as a singular unit benefits anyone outside of the people that are in charge of it. It's like there's not Disney's not going to Disney's not going to take a chunk out of its bottom line in order to do something, you know, in order to make a any sort of like symbolic statement about uh, any sort of symbolic statement about, you know, a progressive issue, unless they feel like it's going to the PR, the PR like pushback from it is going to be enough to like lose them money.
Yeah, like I
So
like at the end of the day, I know we do like this Disney podcast, like but we all at least like I'd hope people understand that like Disney is not like this entity that is like without fault, obviously. Um, as well as like if anything, it's almost like politics in the sense that like a new like there's like a new like company president that's like a new like United States president, like different policies, different like mentalities like come in and come and leave. Um,
yeah, and also just having a company that big with that many people, there's no way to have a like to really have beliefs if you're representing like that amount of people, because there's no way, like you couldn't even communicate if like you can't even communicate. It's hard for that large of a group of people to have a shared belief, even if
opinion.
they would, yeah, to have a, even if everyone in Disney had the same like beliefs, it's hard to like confirm that with everyone because it's such a massive company, like,
I
thousands and
think
thousands of people.
I
Uh,
might disagree with you a
I,
bit on that end part.
yeah.
But I don't know, Win, if you want to add anything you had to add on to that.
I was just gonna say that like I agree with the first part that like yeah, as a corporation, corporations are evil and so is capitalism. That's just how I feel about it. And like it's really hard for corporations to have like I guess like true intentions behind the things that they put out because really they're only trying to make money out of what is trendy. So like Jared and I were mentioning before, like the best way to kind of combat that is don't buy the stuff that they think will be trendy. Then in their heads, it's not making money. Okay, we won't sell it. But I think that like with a corporation this large, there are so many people, and yes, there are so many different viewpoints. But when it specifically comes to like race, gender, or sexual equality, like I I don't think that like the take to have on that is to not represent like marginalized groups or
I think
promote
No,
equity for
that's not what
yeah,
I
marginalized
said.
groups.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say, Liam. I from the way you're explaining it, I understand what you mean. Like everyone has like very set different opinions, but I think like when it was saying it's important to include the fact that like when it comes to like a matter that's like not really like a negotiable, like in
Yeah,
this
that's what I'm
instance.
saying. Yeah.
But I do agree
yeah.
with Liam
Well,
saying that like everyone does have like it is a big company. There are a lot of like contrasting opinions, but some of them shouldn't be
yeah,
debated.
the yeah,
Yes.
the point I was making there wasn't that they should acquiesce to the people who are, that are against that. My point is that logistically it's difficult for that a corporation of that size to come together to have like a progressive message like that. So in what I'm saying is that they're not capable of doing that. By which I mean like Disney's not your friend. It's like, or it's not, they're not a they're not a person with beliefs. They're a organization, they're a system of positions, and like they're a collection of jobs that are designed to make money. And I agree with you with what you're saying of like of so the only way to communicate to them is to just not buy what they're selling. It's the only, because it's the only way to really like get through them. So yeah, I wasn't, just to be clear, I wasn't saying that if Disney has people working there that have like like that have like old fashioned, like old fashioned or even bigoted beliefs, that they should submit to that, or they should give I forget the like acquiesce to that.
I think.
My point
Oh,
was
yeah, go ahead.
that is that it's when push comes to it's my point is just what I was saying. It's that they're they're gonna do what they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and we shouldn't like.
I think like a good way to like show what you're talking about is like you mentioned earlier, one of like the stuff with Bob Chapek at like back in March, like it was
Mhm.
kind of like he in the sense like Liam was saying like that everyone has an opinion. Like Bob Chapek's opinion as the president was getting like the most like visual. because of course like he's the president, so it's like, oh, like any views he has is like representative of the company. And then like of course he didn't like make a deal out of it until it was like affecting his money or like
And,
affecting the company's.
yeah, and that's like my issue with it. Like that's because like they only like want to fire people or like care about differing opinions when it's put onto social media and when they're put on blast, like that lady from the Mandalorian. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's, and I think it's like because I'm just so like far left on the spectrum on this kind of stuff. Like I think it's bullshit when big companies and big corporations say that they can't accommodate to everything that's like, I guess, to be like politically correct, right? I think it's bullshit. And I think that with a company with so much fucking money, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, a company with so much money, especially a corporation as big as Disney, they should at least put in some effort because right now it's like little to no effort.
That's kind of the I'm actually kind of I kind of have the like kind of the reverse, kind of the opposite thing where I think it's because they're a company, like that's the problem with having a company like Disney, with having so much money and having such a big portion of the market share. It's they they feel like, okay, well, our audience, we're such a big company and we make so much money that our audience is everybody. So we can't really come out with any like any real make any sort of real controversial stand on any sort of
Yeah,
issue
I would say.
unless it is already an active PR nightmare. And it kind of is also the reason why I when I kind of do like gripe about Marvel movies and things and how they can kind of feel like in the new like Star Wars movies and things like that, like how it can kind of they can feel soulless because they don't they don't no Disney movies, it's more like the Marvel movies and things like that. They don't really have they don't really express any sort of real like beliefs in anything because they can't, because any beliefs that they express would would alienate any sort of potential audience that doesn't necessarily believe in that.
See, I agree with that, but like you said, like this is like this story is gaining traction because it's not even like one side or the other right now. Like one of the numbers I'm seeing on here on like Yahoo News or this article is it said the poll found that 85.3% of Republicans say they are less likely to continue using Disney products, while 50 or 48.2% of Democrats said the same. So like this issue like was not handled well at all in any way. You know what I mean? It's not. It's like as if, of course, both
Yeah.
sides are very angry. Like one side is like angry about like the rules to begin with, and then like the others are like, hey, like it should have been said earlier. So it's
Mhm.
just like across the board,
Yeah, well,
no one is
it's
happy with
more,
this.
yeah, I guess my point is that it's like it's not like Disney's like a person that like did the wrong thing and he just needs to be explained why they didn't like what they did wrong.
Yeah.
It's Disney did what Disney was going to do and what Disney would always going to do. And if 20 years from now the same situation happens and Disney's the same size, Disney would do the exact same thing again because it's, they have like a PR team that's like, okay, how can we minimize the amount of damage this is? And they made a call and they well making maybe not maybe coming out with a statement saying that they weren't that they like that they were gonna saying that they making a statement that they weren't gonna be against the don't say gay bill, like probably wasn't the move.
Wait, can you repeat
It's
that last part? You said
I
they
I
did
was
make a statement or
no
didn't?
or I'm sorry, I was rethinking that because I was saying that they would probably do the same thing again, but now I'm thinking about it like that
In the
they probably
future,
should have.
I mean, in the
It's
future they'll probably be more quick to like shoot down like a type like this.
maybe, but I don't know if they benefit really from taking a political side on anything
Oh,
because
I see your point.
because
Saying,
they'll
yeah,
probably just say nothing,
it,
or have a more vague and middle of the road response.
because you're saying because it is a company, they're like we're trying to like avoid politics of it.
Yeah, it's because the it's because as a company, they don't have they don't a corporation that size can't really have like a company ethos. It's just it's a massive multi-armed. It's like Alphabet. Alphabet has Google and has YouTube and has like all these different subsidiaries. Disney owns so many things
Well, I
that
will.
make up the Disney company. And you could say, oh, Disney has a central has like a central like has a central like company like administration, but like what if the company administration doesn't have the exact same message that they want to get across as like the people who run like specifically the parks or specifically the park in Florida.
I will.
And
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna cut it and say that like it is just kind of like a part of our culture now to be saying things like I'm trying to think of like a big enough like actor or something. It's like let's say there's like an event that happens and like I don't post on my Insta story. Like let's say I'm like a famous actor and like some like major thing happens and I don't post on my Insta story like oh like I support this side or I don't support this. Like
Mhm.
then if you're like oh Jared never said anything on it, he must not like think it matters. You know.
yeah, but
I think
that's what I'm saying is that
well,
corporations aren't people.
that's what I'm saying though. I'm saying that like Disney is big enough to the point where it's like if they don't say anything, that's saying something. You
Yeah,
know?
but
Yes.
I'm saying comparing Disney to an actor, and I'm agreeing with you that that's the way a lot of people talk about it. But I
Uh,
feel like the issue is that we've kind of, because of the way our kind of capitalist system works, and especially that there's that corporations have been able to kind of lobby the government for more and more leniency, to the point where like in situations like the Supreme Court has ruled that a corporation like has the same legal like standing as a human does.
hmm.
It's it kind of the branding for companies, especially ones as big as Disney, get to the point where they they build a brand that is kind of can feel almost personified, where they have oh they do this many they do this many like events or things that support like the LGBTQ community and things like that, and it's treated as if it's Disney doing a nice thing because they're a nice person,
Uh,
as opposed to it being a result of activism from like LGBTQ activists that are able to kind of point the machine of Disney in a
yeah,
positive direction.
I think that's a really good point you brought up. That seems to be like I was gonna kind of like lead the conversation into this anyway. But I want to make sure Gwyneth has time to talk about the tweet or the is it the letter that Pixar posted. But
Mhm.
I was gonna say like in the sense of like leading this into like oh what is like each of our like personal like next steps like um I agree that it's like it seems like the negative like side of Disney is not like reflected in my opinion with like the majority of like the on the ground people like Bob Chapek is not like representative of a person who is like LGBT who like advocates the stuff who works as a cast member. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's definitely like that. It is like two sides to it, and like you said, like I'm grateful that like there are those people that are in like those like smaller roles that are like getting together, getting um the ship like pointed in that direction, and then this kind of leads into Winna's thing with like especially like that can be seen with like the people on the Pixar team who like
Mhm.
who have as they like get higher in their like their career as they get like higher positions in Disney, they're able to like give us movies like Turning Red, which we would have never have gotten 20 years ago. Like that.
Yeah.
Like we are starting to
Yeah.
go in that direction. So, yeah. Go ahead, Winna.
So I guess to kind of help bridge the gap to like what Liam was talking about and like looking at Disney as like not an individual person that we know every day, but as a company, Pixar decided to quote, pause all political donations in the state of Florida pending this review. So I think that's something like so big that can be done because Disney notoriously donates a lot of money to Florida Republicans. And not to say that Republicans are bad people at all. It's just that like Florida Republicans are like extra special, you know what I mean? They have that like extra like bad spice in them. But yeah, I think like that's
Especially if
just
you're,
something
yeah.
that like in the like grand scheme of things, like looking at things from a company view, like why do we care if we get like homophobic people's money, right? To put it in a very like bare bones sense.
Yeah, no, that's I mean,
Yeah, right.
if you support the don't say gay bill, it's you're homophobic. It's you're it. I don't mean to, but it's literally
In the wording.
Yeah, it's literally saying it's like, hey, let's we're trying to kind of teach children about the existence of this certain type of person, and they're like, but we don't want to do that. That's it's literally
Yeah, it's not even saying
that's literally erasure.
It's not even like, hey, this is a thing to make your kid gay. It's literally just saying like, hey, we're having like a discussion where like these people exist. It's not even it's not something that like is really debatable at the end of the day. It's just kind of like this should be included.
Yeah, and part of the and I also I don't want to get too because like this because this sort of because this well that's part of I want to talk about that like real just because I won't get too into it because like this sort of thing makes me like really like pisses me off, but it's because part of the whole like don't get political with it is part of the system of like is part of this is kind of part of the system of erasure because if someone if a progressive if someone who's wanting to argue for more gay awareness and someone who's arguing against gay awareness and there's an argument and one person or and if if one of the two parties makes the conversation says this you know what, this conversation isn't fun to have, let's just not have it. Well, not having the conversation means that there isn't an increase in gay awareness. So it's not a neutral outcome. It's an outcome in the favor of the system that already exists.
I apologize in the sense that I'm not trying to like brush this
I'm
under the rug at all. I'm just normally this podcast
that wasn't against that wasn't against you. That was against the that was against the party line that gets repeated a lot that irritates me.
I say we don't normally like get into these topics on the podcast. I didn't know if like we should preface it with anything or
no, that's completely.
I guess like normally like people come on the podcast and it's like we're playing the Mickey Yordle. Now we're getting into politics. Like it's I know a lot of people like reach out to these types of like forms of media like such as podcasts like get away from things. So that's like what like my mental track was leading. But I don't know, whoever wants to pick up from there.
I'm good. I said all that I had to say. Yeah.
So you got all you mentioned from the letter that you wanted, the Pixar letter you talked about?
Yeah, I think that was pretty much the big thing because they're basically saying that like, oh, we're upset and like we need to do better and this is how we're gonna do better.
Yeah, so it's coming from all of Pixar? How does it like?
Yeah, or like the Pixar like heads came together and kind of wrote it on like behalf of everybody else, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. I guess the one complaint is I'm looking at the letter that you posted on our Castles and Company Discord. For those of you who want to join the Discord, link is on our website, but the one complaint I have with this is that you have like your search bar at the bottom of your Safari. That annoys me.
It's updated like that.
No, you can actually put it to the top in settings.
Oh, you learn something new every day. It doesn't bug me anymore because it's like close to the keyboard, so I got used to it. But Jared.
When it first came out, it bugged me so much. I was like, I gotta find settings and fix this.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. I thought I honestly thought the search bar was the top of the post beneath it, so I didn't even notice. Now that you've pointed it out, it bothers me.
Yes, that's why it says. I said now that you see it, it bothers you.
Yeah,
It's like
I don't even use an iPhone, and it bothers me.
it's like our
Great.
friend,
Thanks, Jared.
our friend from the podcast, Ashley. She has like I roast her for this all the time. She has all of her like apps and everything on her phone in light mode. Now, like,
Ugh,
which was like which
why?
was like required back in the day when like there was only light mode, but now that we have dark mode, she uses Discord in light mode. Gosh,
Insane.
that is the worst thing I've seen in because Discord isn't even light mode by default. She out of she took moments out of her day to go to settings and switch it to light mode. I think that's a crime. Not here to defend herself, so I won't.
I want to. If I use Discord at any time after sunset, I want to give my retinas eye damage.
Exactly, it's awesome. So dark mode supremacy out here.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And search bar at the top of Safari.
Okay, relax, relax.
She said,
No need to
"Whoa, now
point
we've gone too far."
Just kidding.
Actually, to be fair, I don't think I have Chrome on my phone in dark mode. So
But yeah, I guess going forward, we'll see more from to see what Disney does to recover their PR from all of this. But I assume it's going to be a long and I don't know. Knowing Americans, will probably get bored of it and like everything else that happens. But
yeah,
we'll continue. Huh?
I'm more. Yeah, sorry, keep going.
Now people already forgot about Ukraine at this point, but and
That's so sad.
seriously,
I
but
think,
yep,
yeah.
yeah, Liam.
I was just gonna say it. From what it seems like, I think the big thing is right now it's doesn't look like the conflict's ending anytime soon. So I think people are just like
Oh, yeah, I guess that's
strapping
fair.
in. But I don't discount what you're saying of like there's no new updates, so let's just it's like it's not happening.
Business as usual, exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess that's all we've got for today. I'm glad that we took the time to like talk about this issue in detail, especially since I didn't have like a terrible lot of details as well. So thank you, Wynneth, for giving us the extra play by play.
Yeah, of course. I got you guys. I keep up on this stuff.
Hell yeah. And then yeah, I guess we probably missed out on some other news, some Disneyland news, things like that, but we can always get to that in the future weeks. So thank you all for listening. Liam, Liam, you want to do our outro for the day? That was a joke. You're not gonna do the
outro. No, it's okay. If you don't have to convince me, I'll do it.
Are you actually want to?
Sure. All right. Thank you, my tarnished everyone for watching. Make sure to play the new video game that's come out, Elden Ring.
It's
a
wrong
really,
company.
it's a really great game. Come check out if you want to watch more episodes of the podcast. Go to our website at eldenring.com or check out the Elden Ring Spotify or our no, we don't have a Patreon, so don't check out the Elden Ring Patreon.
Well, we have a Castles and Company Patreon.
What's that?
We actually do?
Yes, we do actually. We do have merch.
Wait, we have merch?
Yes, we do actually
exactly.
What is it, huh? So if you want to get some some Elden Ring merch, you can go.
If you want any Elden Ring merch, go to castlesandcompany.com for all your Elden Ring merchandise.
As well as our Elden Ring Discord the link is also on the Castles and Company page. So find those links there, and then yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's right. I went to a California adventure this week. I guess I didn't talk about that, but Disneyland still.
Where was the invite?
I just nailed it.
Where was the invite?
I didn't invite Wynneth.
Wow.
Suspicious.
Fake friend.
No, it's because I was only going to California Adventure. Like I didn't want to have to force you to go through that torture, as opposed to mainland Disneyland.
I love going to just eat. and get drunk.
I was gonna say, unpopular opinion. There's like nothing to do at California Adventure except to like walk around and eat food.
Yep.
So, I don't know if. Oh wait, Liam, have you been to California?
A long time ago. Because I
Okay.
think because that's where soaring is, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, so yeah, I know I've been on soaring. That is the only thing I think I know about California Adventure, unless you like mention something, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, I totally knew that somewhere in the back.
So yeah,
But,
future updates. Liam's return to Disney, less than a month. Coming up
Yeah.
on May 4th. So
yeah, I'm gonna
finally get him in the park.
enter and light on fire.
Wait, why?
Like I don't know, like a vampire.
I was like, is that an Elden Ring reference? You just like explode and like Lego studs fly out of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk in and there's gonna be a health bar at the bottom, a massive health bar at the bottom that just has an angered mouse. There's gonna be music in the back.
You gotta have a Lego death sound too. Like,
oh, I'm getting the Yoda one. I'm doing the Yoda one.
The moment you step in the park, you better say, "What is up, my Mickey Mouses?" or I'm kicking you out.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk through. I'm gonna walk through the line. Like I'm gonna like get to the front of the line, go through, and then to the people who are all still like stuck waiting in line, I'm gonna have a megaphone and be like, "What's up, my Mickey Mouses? Is everyone excited?" And then everyone's gonna cheer. Actually, wait, it's Disneyland. Never mind. They would actually cheer. They wouldn't get annoyed. Never mind.
Yeah. When you guys go, Jared, take a video, please.
Oh yeah. As Liam gets
You're not
the
supposed to be
megaphone.
genuinely.
Yeah, as Liam gets the megaphone past security, it gets tackled as they take it from him.
Oh yeah, dude. I should try and get a megaphone into Disneyland and see how long it takes for me to get kicked out. And I'm gonna have a stopwatch that records milliseconds.
Oh, he's gonna walk in with a
You're
ladder.
gonna be banned.
Just walk in with a ladder and they'll be like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh.
I'll just have a hard hat on with my megaphone.
Oh, there we go.
I'd be like, I'm here to build Toontown. I'm here to help build Toontown. And don't you see I've got this megaphone? I also brought a wrench.
It's like a comically large wrench.
Yeah. It's a cartoon. It's like a wrench that says Acme on the side.
What?
You know, from like it's like cartoons.
I got you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Is this like a thing I should know about? Acme?
Yeah, it's like it's like the company from like Looney Tunes. Anytime that like Roadrunner or Coyote or Rally Coyote like do any
that's
sort
how
of
you
thing,
pronounce it?
yeah, Acme or AMC. I don't know. Everyone just says Acme.
I've never heard that spoken aloud. Wow.
Really? That's fine.
Anyways, so yeah, you can follow us on Instagram. You can find us.
You bet. Do not dare do an outro. I have already done the outro.
I am finishing. Oh yeah, all right. Tell us about the Elden Ring Instagram.
Oh yeah, to follow us at Godric. Castles and Company for top tier Elden Ring memes.
Exactly, and on Twitter at Castles N Company, and also our website castlesandcompany.com.
We have a Twitter.
Yes, we do. I haven't posted to it for a bit. I don't know. I'm not huge on Twitter, but
I don't follow it.
Stay tuned to the Twitter. Liam is now going to follow the Twitter.
I am following like I always have been.
So yeah, Liam,
for the people at home, could you spell that again?
Yeah. So I learned this the other day. Apparently, Twitter is like case sensitive. So it's capital C. Now this is going to be put capital C Castles, capital N Company, then capital. I mean, wait. I confused myself. Sorry.
Okay, I found it.
So the word castles with a C. The C is capitalized, and then instead of and, it's just like an N, and it's a capital N, and then the word company. Oh, you found us. And then the word company is with a capital C, I'm pretty sure. Is that correct, Jim?
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking through the Twitter because I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, it's capital C Castles, capital N, capital C Company.
There we go. So, can always maybe that's why no one's been able to find us because they haven't been capitalizing the seeds.
Yeah, our massive audience has just been chomping at the bit to follow us.
All right,
we'll make haven't gotten the capitalization right.
We'll make sure we add the Twitter site, Twitter link to the website right next to the Elden Ring. All right.
Yeah, Jared. Next, you gotta somewhere you gotta put a list of all the things that you need to that are in the outro just for my sake, because I won't remember them because I also don't remember which ones we do and don't have, because I think
right. I think is doing it from now. Last per.
What's how?
I'm good. I think Leo's outros are the funniest thing out there.
All right, Liam. Now you gotta finish with the end quote. Go ahead.
Oh, remember, time is forever.
Yeah.
Imagination is your soul, and thou art unfit even to graft.
So good.
Just keep that in mind if you're ever in a sticky spot.
Oh, remember, Liam, you did it wrong. Remember, you told us it's dreams are imagination and mouses are Mickey.
Yeah, you're right. I completely forgot. I'm sorry. The mouses are Mickey, and the first thing that he said.
Oh gosh.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.